Treatment to stay in one place during the whole rainy season, and that was in India, and the non-Buddhist monks, I say that the non-Buddhist ascetics, they began this practice, and it was for practical reason. Those days there weren't any proper roads from place to place between cities and villages. During the rainy season, people just people just grow crops, and and then after the crop, the same field becomes road, maybe walk path, and like that. So it happened that in the early days, the Buddha encouraged Buddhist monks, his disciples, to travel and not to stay in one place long. because by moving around, we can, we don't become a burden on the lay community, on the villages, on the town dwellers. If we stay in one place, you can see life has changed for us. When we started living in the same place, now we need a huge building like this, which is very costly. In addition, when we stay in one place, hundreds of months, then people have the burden, a bigger burden of feeding us. So the Buddha wanted his followers to scatter around, to move around. They continued to do so for a few years. And then people started complaining when they travel during the rainy season, because Buddhist monks step on crops, on vegetation, on plants like that, and we damage people's livelihood. So simply because of that complaint, the Buddha laid down a rule that we should stay in one place for 3 months. So here you can see two reasons. One is ecological reason, because people plant during the rainy season, and those days it was more so when there were no proper roads to avoid the vegetation. So the Buddha did pay great attention to environment. Then the other reason, social reason, is that, we need to pay attention to the complaint from the lay community. We cannot ignore them. We need to observe them, analyze them, consider them properly, because our life depends on them. So this is how the Buddha dealt with the situation, dealt with the complaint. Of course, myself, I have been in Europe more than 2 decades. And this is not the rainy season, it's the summer, right in the middle of the summer. The same in North America. So if it's not rainy season, what do? Actually, this is the time when people arrange a lot of meditation retreats. Once in Hungary, before we established our monastery, one of the Buddhist organizations which invited me to teach meditation, they didn't have a place. So they just rent one room in a house in a village, which has a huge compound. And they themselves, they just camp in the compound, meditating on the ground. Just me and me alone, which has, a room accommodation. Of course, the rest of the house belongs to the family. What I want to say is that this is the time people live outside their home, because the weather is just so nice, provided you don't have hay fever. If you have hay fever, this is it's a very difficult season, because there's a lot of pollen. And conferences are organized in the summer. So monks do have to travel in Europe, in America during this time. So European monks, they substitute this rain retreat in the winter, because European winter is so hostile and so difficult to travel. So monks, every year they lock themselves down for 2 to 3 months. They practice meditation without any trouble. Actually, during the Buddha's time, a king wanted the monks to go and observe a retreat in the summer in his kingdom, not during the rain. Okay. And the monks said, no, okay, the Buddha said rainy season. But then, when the Buddha came to know, the Buddha told them, Anujanami bhikkhave rajanam anuvatitu. He laid down one rule. He said, it's okay if the authorities invite you to observe a retreat. Even outside the rainy season, you should follow, especially the, how would I say, Raja, that is the politically powerful people. There's not to go against them. So the benefit then that we as Buddhist monks have derived from this practice for the last 2,600 years is that we learn how to socialize. This is the time for socializing. Because other time we travel so often, so frequently. But during the 3 months that we are together, we have to learn who the other monks are, what do they do, what do they practice. Actually, just yesterday we introduced ourselves. Yeah, it was full moon day yesterday, so we introduced ourselves. We need to know each other. The name and the years in the monkhood and the job that we are doing, something we introduce ourselves. This is part of socializing. Is very much in the spirit of early Buddhist community. Now, during this time, we also socialize with people, with our devotees, because usually a monk's life is like touch and go. We don't stay in one place for long. But during this period, we stay in one place longer. The people also have more opportunity to socialize with the monks and then to get to know them, to learn from them like that. You may not notice this benefit here in Myanmar because everywhere you have monasteries and many monks. Okay. In Serbia, where I have monastery, in the whole country, there are only 3 months. Only 3 months, the whole country. 10 million people. In Hungary, we have a monastery. We don't have a monk yet. You see, how difficult is that? And in Lithuania, bordering Russia, one of our alumni nun here, she opened a center. She is alone, the only Theravada in the country. And when she opened her center, she wanted many monks and nuns to join her. So we could only join online. One Buddhist monk, a great scholar, Bhikkhu Bodhi, was giving a talk from New York. He was born in New York, a great scholar, translator. And I did my speech from here, also online. Another nun was doing an online recitation, online chanting of Dhammasajja. Dhammasajja, that's from the Netherlands. You see, in the Netherlands we rely on Zoom just to remind ourselves how things have changed and time has changed. And those days, when we but during the rainy season, because those days the monks they use just 3 pieces of clothes, and with the rain, okay, when they get wet, they need an extra piece of rope to change. So the practice comes from them. But today, the people, lay people, you have more clothes. And monks also have more clothes. Nuns also have more sets of robes. But we still maintain the tradition. This enforces the cooperation and also the link between the monastic and the lay community. So with this, I'd like to invoke the blessing of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, all of you, for your good health, long life, happiness and success. To live the Wasuyare Jawaro Wasura Buddha Bhata Nisara Mahopav India Nang Matacha Pomodi Buddha Bhata Mode Pomodi Nyashi Eddie Pomodi Eddie Yando Brahmasa Wasura Buddha Bhata Nama Wasura Amiran Ki 20 de Kajaro Ludi Sai più di candy to abito name de po I don't want to look land di da sao thare khe ma hot de kha cha ro mo so yin sai lai da be nui so yin tu land phit twai da be ai li po land di da ma shi ai da ja mo lo social conflict so da phoi ne ai di sai piuနေတဲ့လူတွေနဲ့လူမှုရေးပြဿနာဖြစ်လာတယ်သူတို့ site ခင်းတွေကိုသွားနေမိတာဟောအဲ့ဒါနဲ့မြတ်စွာဘုရားစီတိုင်တန်းတဲ့ခါကျတော့သူများတွေကတဏှာထဲမှာနေတယ်ဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာဘုန်းကြီးတွေကျတော့ရှောက်သွားနေတာပဲအဲ့လိုဖြစ်တာအမှန်ဗုဒ္ဓမြတ်စွာဘုရားကခီးသွားတာကိုအားပေးတယ်တဏှာပြီးတဏှာရွှေ့တာကိုအားပေးတယ်ဒီစောပိုင်းတော့ပေါ့နော်တဏှာပြီးတဏှာခဏခီးသွားတယ်ဆိုရင်အများနဲ့ခီးသွားတဲ့လူတွေတီးရပေါ့အန်တီချိုအခုမှအီတလီကနေပြန်လာလားစင်ကာပူကနေပြန်လာအဲ့တော့ခီးသွားတယ်ဆိုရင် weight ရှိတယ်လေပစ္စည်းသိမ့်များရင်ဘောင်ပို့ပေးရတဲ့ခါကျတော့ပစ္စည်းတွေများမတည်တော့များလည်းမစုတော့အဲ့လိုပဲခီးခဏဒါတော့မှလေငါတည်ပေးတာတော့ကိုယ့်ကိုယ်တည်ရမယ်ဆိုရင်အရင်တော့ကိုယ့်ကိုယ်တည်မယ်ဆိုရင်ပစ္စည်းတွေသိမ့်မတည်ဘူးအဲ့ဒါကြောင့်ရှေးဆရာတော်တဲ့ပစ္စည်းမသို့စိတ်မတူခင်ပြိုကြီးပွားကြောင်းဆိုတာခင်ပြိုဆိုတာရဟန်းကိုပြောတာပစ္စည်းမတူနဲ့ပစ္စည်းတွေသိမ့်မစုနဲ့စိတ်မတူစိတ်လည်းမတူနဲ့စိတ်မတူနဲ့အဲ့ဒါဆိုရင်ကြီးပွားတယ်တာနာပေါ်မှာဓမ္မပေါ်မှာကြီးပွားတယ်အဲ့ဒီကနေပြီးတော့ဝါဆိုလာတနေ့ရဲမှာဝါဆိုတာဒါဖြင့်ခရောင်းကဘုံပြောသလိုဒါမိုးကြောင့်ဝါဆိုတာယူရိုပတို့အမေရိကတို့ဆိုရင်ဒါကမိုးရသည်မဟုတ်ဘူးသူကနှွေးရသည်ဖြစ်နေတယ်ဒါဖြင့်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်ကြမှာတော့ဥပုပ်ပြုတဲ့ခါတော့မှဟိုရောက်တဲ့ခါမှာဥပုပ်ပြုရင်လေဒီကပြောတဲ့ပုံစံနဲ့ပြောလို့မရဘူးဒီကကြွသွားတဲ့ဆရာတော်တွေချိုးကဟိုမှာတကယ်နှွေးမှာဥပုပ်ပြုတဲ့ခါမှာရောက်ဆဲမိုးဥတုဆိုမိုးကမရောက်သေးဘူးဘယ်နှဘက်ကရှိပြီဆိုတာမျိုးပေါ့အဲ့ဒါမျိုးဟုတ်အဲ့တော့ဗုဒ္ဓမြတ်စွာဘုရားဝါဆိုခိုင်းတာကအကြောင်းတစ်ကြောင်းဟိုခရုစိုက်လို့နော်ဝါဆိုခိုင်းတယ်တခုကတော့ဘဝန်းကျင်ပေါ့နော်ဘဝန်းကျင်ကိုခရုစိုက်လို့ဒီလိုပဲလူတွေရဲ့တီးနှံတွေအပင်တွေ Piasi late me so we don't. Eddie since I do come consideration was already. Not go out of part social considerations lumu ye since I say pure ludine, Piatana Piemao. A Piatana Mafia out, the near Maniva. Elu ludine, lumu Piatana Mafia out. That's why we have Pinya had to take about it and Yaiva. Soluraga Buddha Myasapiaga social perspective take count environmental perspective le Shidamure. I don't leave Georgian. Get it knee was a thing illusion ya where we saw ya alo. Pian king wa chamachana swamping could ring go back in doing but beauty biba. Say Sanda Aliota than up to 9 chapasi. Dumbo Sierra, he said, Piamina.
So, Venerable Rector just give a short account. The reason we observe the Vasa here in English and in Myanmar. So, we also have a Sri Lankan Bhikkhu here to observe Vasa with us. So, I like the formula that we share our merits in Pali that we learn from Sri Lanka. So it's short and also short to the point and how to say, it's sweet because it is composed in Pali stanza. Pali lube tililinga ma chintong tulu tutuline is a child, no? Okay, along next to that. Venerable Siddhartha, you may join with me, so that we can chant in Sri Lankan style. Yes. Now, maybe the PP like bit of soba, no? Idame nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Imang punya bhagang sabha sattanang sabha pitanang samang lapantu yatha vari vaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva miva itu tingnam pitanang upakapati ichitam patitang tuhang kipameva samitjatu sape purentu citasang kapa Janto panaraso yatha manicho tiraso yatha. Idho byuyamya punya chang chamya eji veme mi di shwe pito chao lama kao pe. Yao ya ba lu tu tu bhawa chin le ya le dukkha bhidan yama apa makang hu te mya ma twe ya be thaba eksa mingala gu yue kha ta tan ya si do Yene yeku piu piu te mya Myan bhaga ku mi va saya Miu taha ne Ku ma sang ja Ku sang naka Ayin sa yu Shi te mya long song Bong tong se ti Phi phi te mya Vini ya du Ya javasi pinghavi di myate ตาธุขอสีตกุโดอัมยาอัมยาอัมยายูโดมุชาบากงโลตาธุตาธุตาธุกุโดอัมยาอัมยาอัมยายูโดมุชาบากงโลตาธุตาธุตาธุกุสมิตินายมิยามิเฮาคาสรัตกาไลสังปารมีลายเส้นกำพาตั้งเสียงตั้งลงนะเจมพีเจมสางเจมสัตเจมกนวินิยาสัตวานาสัจจาวาอนันตาสัจจาวาลาตังสิขันโตหมหมจมจมสาธุอนุโมทนาลายหับกุสุพันดีเพ่งเป้งกันเสียงเสียงสักกังเลยตาโนสาธุสาธุ